Time has slipped away. Oh, look at how the years gone by. You say I may have lost my way. Oh, but I am on my way to there. Oh, lift up your eyes and see your humility.
What do you want to know? From California, born in the Bay Area, San Francisco. Grew up in a musical family. My father played jazz piano. My grandfather played saxophone. So I started with music from day one, jazz music. Reggae music from my older brother. So when I was maybe 7, 8 years old, I heard reggae and I fell in love. Every Bob Marley, Burning Spear, Is a Vibration, all these great musicians and singers, got all their albums. And took that with me through high school, playing in the jazz band, started in university, getting my degree in jazz performance on guitar. And I formed the group Groundation out of my love for roots reggae, also fusion with jazz elements, long solos, through composed pieces, polyrhythmic, you know, not 4/4 common time, and not staying in one key center. So it was very roots reggae, but it was very different. And through the 20 years, we have 10 albums, and we've toured around the world, and I give thanks for people receiving the music, because Groundation music is different, and it's serious music, you know? It has a mission and a message, so it's great to see it being received. Well, Groundation, I knew Groundation. Groundation, minus the D. Groundation is the word given to Selassie's visit to Jamaica. Rastafari, who is Haile Selassie, Ethiopian emperor, visited the island of Jamaica in 1966, and on that day was Groundation Day. So my idea was to come from the roots of Rasta, which is a movement towards equal rights and justice for black people, but a recognition of the unity of all people and the understanding that we are responsible for everybody, not for our religions and for our races, but for every being that walks. So we come from that root, Groundation. But Groundation is something different. Groundation is like a dream, to be grounded, to be in balance. That's why you see the horns. That's why you see the female singers. You see black people and white people in Groundation. You know, the idea is that we're not a band of a singer and a backing band. You know, we're a group where everybody shines. Everybody's the lead singer. You know, I'm supporting the saxophone player and whatnot. So Groundation became that movement, that dream of a real balanced equality in the music.
It's in my way to go. You will meet them in the way you're going to.
I think because we've been active since 1998, you know, we haven't stopped. We haven't taken a moment. I feel also that people see that we are disciplined and we really believe in what we're doing. So we don't have songs where, oh, party, party, jump, jump. Now let's talk about Babylon system and this and that. No, Groundation is really focused on, you know, what is happening in our societies. What are the things we can improve on? How can we create more joy and more hope for the coming generations? So I think because we're really focused with our message, and the music is really, you know, it's trying to be unique. We don't record a song unless there's something special about that song. And I think people appreciate that and can see that, you know, for other styles of reggae, pop reggae and dancehall and modern reggae, they can go to different sources. But for what we do, you can only go to Groundation. Sure. Yeah, I'm always open for change. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing about life. I'm not a musician who wants to find a sound and just repeat. Oh, that was popular and that was successful. I'm going to do that as my sound. I feel like with Groundation especially, you know, we try and do things and approach each album differently. Like this new album, The Next Generation, it begins with one of the only big band reggae, 12 horns, you know, 5 saxophones, 4 trumpets, 3 trombones. Really very different intro that only Groundation would do. So I think that finding unique and really changing with the times is something that's crucial for Groundation sound. So yeah, I welcome change. Yeah. Yeah, it is a good thing. And as long as we change based on, what we've learned from our past experiences. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I've always done throughout the years of Groundation. That's why the albums sonically sound better and things. You learn as you go and you change things. So yeah, I'm open. Words to live by? I mean, no, I don't really have any words that one thing that I go to. I just know that life is about hard work and really giving it your all. Somebody asked me once, how does the music, each album you do, Groundation sounds so amazing, Well, one thing, we put the time in. It took a lot of time to write and arrange and organize and rehearse and get that music there. So I think that hard work and discipline, I feel people lack discipline in this life, It's easy to be swayed and move with things, but even in my life, I try to be disciplined, whether it's eating vegetarian, whether it's these things, you're not going to see me in McDonald's getting a hamburger, even if it's hungry, and it's discipline of how you move. And I feel being true, and my father would say that the biggest thing in life is that there's going to be disappointments, and you can't let that get you down. You can't let that ruin the hope for tomorrow. You have to stand back up, because that's what life, if you think life is going to be pretty easy, joyful ride, is a dream, That's not the moment that we live. We live in a moment that oftentimes we fall short, and we fail, and we're disappointed, and we have tragedy in our lives. So you have to be able to pick yourself up. That's definitely words to live by. And to see a future, it takes time. Like I have some friends who come from St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica, poor, but they saw themselves being a pharmacist. And they worked hard and got their own, worked several jobs, make their money and stayed. And today, yeah, they're highly successful people because of that. Whereas most people in the community will never come out of poverty, because it's a challenge, and you have to be up for it. The only one to carry out a stone throughout your life. It's time for you to find your way. Sure, I mean, the environment is changing consistently, as we spoke about change. We as humans are artificially speeding up the process of great change. So what do I expect? I expect what scientists see as more disasters and more things taking place on our planet that disrupt societies, functioning economies, more failed states. So I see a lot of trouble for the future of the ecology. At the same time, I know that once big business sees that there's money to be made, because eventually the pressure will go a certain way that humanity is going to have to go to self-sufficiency, right? No longer burning fossil fuels and things. And so when we do that, big business is going to come in, and with their money, it's going to change quick. I feel that will happen. Once you hit that pressure point, which is soon, I think things are going to flip, and we are going to go socially into very active programs towards sustainability, towards shrinking our footprints. And that's what we're trying to do as our society. Like me, myself, we have fuel-efficient cars, hybrid cars, electric cars for the family. But those are expensive things. One thing that you can do, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, is catchment, to catch water, right? And have tanks and catch water on your property. That's what I do, You can use water for your plants, for your gardens and things, just from the rain. You have to catch it, As poor people know this forever, because that's how you sustain life, Solar energy. If you do a combination of solar, if you have a big enough space for a wind turbine, and you can combine these sources, then you're able to fuel your home. And in fact, sometimes more than enough. And that's what I try and do in my life. in California. California is a very socially active place. Yeah, a lot of the progressive ideas that have spread around the world came from California, speaking about the ecology of the planet.
Time for you to find your way.
I mean, the only thing conscious was that I wanted to write and produce music that was different, that was unique. I was always under the impression that, if you're playing jazz guitar and you're studying, are you going to be better than Wes Montgomery? Are you going to be better than Grant Green? These musicians made the name of jazz guitar. So what is it about you that is going to be different and make people come to your music? I used to say that to musicians all over the place. Oh, you play trumpet in the jazz program. Well, you know that your album is going to be competing with Miles Davis. So you can't copy Miles Davis. You have to find your own unique voice. And that was something that I wanted to do. But in songwriting, I'm not conscious of creating something jazz, fusion, or I'm just writing songs. And I would tell anybody, if you're a songwriter, you're not going to write 10 songs and that's your album. You have to write. You have to write a lot of songs. Not every song is going to be recorded. For me, not every song is meant for Groundation, because Groundation is a particular sound, that very unique sound. That's why I had a solo albums under Professor. Straight reggae, not really long solos, no polyrhythmic, no outside harmony stuff, just sweet reggae music. So finding those special moments is Groundation, is that sound. And you could hear in reggae, there's a lot of space in the music. And when you look at things in different ways, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, but you can count that in different pulses. Your 2 can be 1, and you can feel it that way. And you can start writing and arranging melodies that kind of circle around each other and begin to create this polyrhythmic ideas. Like the song Hebron is in 3/4, but you have this slow 4/4 keyboard that plays over it. A lot of things that are happening. And when you have that non-diatonic and those odd time signatures, that's when the songs sound unique. Like Picture on the Wall we played tonight is a bar of 3 and a bar of 4. And people don't really know what that is. But if you hear dum gum dum gedum jack gedum jum jack gedum gedum jack gedum jam gudam gedum gat gedum jum chick gedum. It's just Picture on the Wall. There's no other song that is going to sound like that. You're not going to sing a different song over that. It's that song. And it's because of that unique polyrhythmic thing. So it's all about finding that special sound. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like we said, just kind of being able to pick yourself up from adversities and from trials and tribulations. The biggest thing that we try to put out in the music is hope, because things look hopeless, and you can't shut the light out, like people who take their own life. They feel like it's done for them, but you can never feel that way, because you never know what tomorrow may bring. Yeah. As Bob Marley said, today could bring your lucky number, you never know. You never know. So never give up hope. Yeah, I truly believe in the dreams of humanity, and we're going to reach there. The Most High Jah gave us this life, and they gave us this intelligence for us to come together, for us to form a beautiful world. Yeah, because Jah lives in everybody. Not about religion and all these things. Not about politics, trying to fool and divide people. Yeah, Jah lives in everything and everybody. So what's our job? What's our role? What's our dream? The future is one people. Supporting each other, You can call it democracy, but it has to be rule of the people. And you can see that democracy today is not rule of the people. It's a politician's play on the word democracy. Yeah. And we have a long way to go. But like I said, don't give up.
Well, thank you so much for this beautiful interview. And
Yeah.
hope to see you around for a long time.
You will. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I have children, and I'm not going to leave the planet without giving my all. Yeah. Yeah, no, I refuse.
Yeah.